Hello everyone, I'm Annie Gibbins and you're listening to Memoirs of Successful Women, the podcast where you get to hear candid conversations with fascinating women from around the globe who share aspects of their business and life journey, how they measure their success and what they have learned along the way. Well, hello and welcome to Memoirs of Successful Women. Today I'm introducing you to Dr. Ruby Bakshi Khurdi, who is an award-winning international motivational public speaker, global Goodwill ambassador for Switzerland, chairperson for All Ladies League. She's a charismatic educationalist, a social entrepreneur, a leadership and cultural trainer. This woman is certainly amazing. I'm really looking forward to our conversation today. So join me in welcoming Dr. Ruby.
Thank you, Annie. It's really a pleasure to be on your show and be talking to you live. I'm really happy having this conversation. Thank you.
It is such a pleasure, and I know we've been lining it up for a while. It's just, it's amazing when people just are so busy doing what they're passionate about. You've just kind of got to wait till those times align, and it's always just so worth the wait because I just get constantly dazzled by what people are doing around the world, and particularly inspiring women. And I was just saying before we went onto the show, that you still look so incredibly beautiful, young and energetic for a woman who's just achieved so much. So well done you for really pushing the boundaries on what is truly possible. I think it's so inspirational when you just see, when someone is led by their heart and their passion, what they can achieve in life. So I'm looking forward to you sharing your journey with us. How about you give the listeners a little glimpse into, what are you doing at the moment? What does your life look like? And then we'll unpack how you actually got to where you are today.
I'm an educationist, settled in Switzerland for last almost 20 years now. So this is home. And I have been, as you said, I'm really, really passionate about certain things like where people need to connect and evolve as people, because everyone is doing their bits. We are all working, we are all taking care of your careers, but when we get connected with people who are not just thinking or working for themselves but for the people, it becomes beautiful. And I think this beautiful journey started in terms of evolving myself in a foreign country, because when I came here I felt a bit lonely. Switzerland is beautiful, it's amazing, but I missed connections. I missed the warmth that I had in India, because when you come from your culture, you are a one person. But when you go to another culture, you are expecting those things there as well. And when you don't find them, you are kind of, okay, what do I do? And how do I do?
Yeah.
So that's how this amazing journey of creating women network started, creating social network started, social cultural network started. It was nothing planned, but something that just led to another, like a domino effect. One thing led to another.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. I'm having my beautiful networks where we are helping each other evolve, where we are helping each other connect and celebrate as well, because having a good integration in the Swiss culture as well as in the Indian culture. So whenever some things are happening in India, we make it sure that we make it happen here in Switzerland as well, and vice versa. Mm-hmm. And teaching it to our children as well, with other moms. We always make it a point that when there are certain festivals, we celebrate together and share the stories, because India is a big country, from up north to down south, you will have so many different cultures and so many different stories happening. So we make it a point that we share it with our children so that they know and they share it further.
It's so important. And it's just a huge contrast to go from India to Switzerland. If I can imagine two just polar opposite countries, it's just amazing that, coming from a place where you just feel, is your home, is just, everything that you live and breathe. It's where your support systems are. And then to find yourself in Switzerland. And as you said before, suddenly feeling really lonely. And I know a lot of people listening in will have had those experiences. Sometimes it's just moving a couple of towns, you suddenly move, or a different job. You suddenly find yourself in a different context. And it's amazing how quickly, it pulls the rug out from underneath you, right? It suddenly surfaces all of those sort of, what grounds you. And so for you to find yourself in Switzerland, and now how long have you been in Switzerland for?
20 years.
20 years. So now you are truly, truly Swiss.
Truly Swiss, but at heart, I'm always an Indian. I'm always connecting, always sharing that warmth everywhere. So here, everyone really, I mean, now I'm like a part of the community. You know, we have families, we have home away from home families and beautiful networks. So it's nice now. It's nice now, and it's completely different to what it was those years when I started here.
Yeah, because you've made it your own, and that's what it is. It requires effort. It requires initiative. It requires you either choosing to sort of settle and feel, you know, sometimes it can take people a very long time to get connected, and other people, such as yourself, go and says, okay, this feels really uncomfortable. Actually, it feels really lonely, but what am I going to do that? And I suppose you were therefore a pioneering educationalist, because you know, back in the day, going online, you know, many years ago, before it became the vogue now, it allowed you just to tap into that global view. Tell us a little bit about that journey, you know, of being an educationalist in a new country and then sort of seeing that the world is actually your oyster.
Very true. I mean, when I came here, I was very young and kind of settling in, not sure how it's gonna be, how long I'm gonna be in this country, because before I was just here for a short period of time. But I think because I was so cautious and also very much sure that I want to do something in education, because my background is master's in business administration. So I wanted to continue that. Back home in India, I was a young principal. I became a principal of a college at a very young age. So that was God's grace that blessed me. And when I came here, it helped me to become or start in a very prestigious all-girls education institution in Switzerland. So I started here as a lecturer in business administration. I was teaching the bachelor's in business administration students. And it was a very prestigious school. But when I was there, I felt, wow, this is a developed country and we are still using blackboard. We are still using chalk.
Yeah.
And back home in India, we had some modern ways of doing. We were using PowerPoint slides, we were using slides, we had projector. So it was different. So I thought, why not introduce those things here as well? So when I started discussing that with our director at that point of time, he was a Swiss-German guy, and he said, no, it's too much. Gentiment, slowly. We are not in a race. We will do, but gradually. So I said, yeah, we'll do gradually. But if we have to be competitive, if we have to be innovative and beyond the other people in this industry, we have to make an effort. We can't be doing things which are 50 years old. Back then it worked, but now it's not going to work.
Exactly.
So I think somehow he liked the idea, though he did not like it in the beginning because it was an investment. But then somehow he liked an idea and he gave me the green signal. Okay, go ahead. I give you this period of time and this is your budget. And if this fits well and we have it running, we have more people coming and joining, then it's a green from me and then you are on. But if in this period of time it doesn't work and we feel it's not happening, our teachers are not happy or others are not happy adapting, then we'll go back to the old system.
Yeah.
And I took it as a challenge. I worked very hard for first 6 months to make it happen, to involve everyone. I was one of the first persons to get a beamer here in the school. It was not easy, but because he made an investment, and I said every teacher should use computers. We should have gamification in the classroom, because when you are teaching a language, especially because some of the language teachers said, it's not good. How are we going to do with the computer? I have all my notes, I have all my exercises, I have great books. I don't want to switch.
Yes.
And then I said, I'm not telling anyone to switch. I'm just making life easy for you. Mm-hmm. Every time you have to start from scratch. But on this, you have your folders, you have your modules, everything is set and done. All you need to do is click and update. That's it. So I think that caught their attention and the director was very happy. And within, I would say, 6 months from a lecturer, I became the academic dean of the school which I had joined. And I was the youngest teacher. But from youngest teacher, I became the youngest head of the institution.
Yes.
So that was quite a journey. And I felt immediately connected to this country because I felt they welcomed me.
Yeah.
This was a start of a career. This was a start of an era where they believed in my passion. They believed in my madness at that point of time. And the director was very helpful. He was, God bless him, kind man, that he had that trust in me. And gradually the other teachers also trusted, and we became as a team. We started working as a team. So that was, I would say, good 2002. And now we are in 2021. And now in this span of time, I have worked in 3 different universities. I have been consistent. I don't change. I work together.
Yeah.
At that time I was a dean. So when I was a dean, I was just focusing on that school. But later, thereafter, I worked in other schools as well, where I became a part. And everywhere I wanted to have innovative methods of learning and gamification in the learning system.
Yeah.
Because when we do things in this way, I think students love it. They are engaged, they are participating, and they look forward to the lesson. They don't feel it's a punishment to go to the classroom. They feel it's fun to go to the classroom. So this is how I want to teach, and this is how I want others to teach as well.
Oh, I absolutely love that, and I actually relate on in some ways. I've got a Master's of Education as well, and I used to be a head teacher of a nursing school, and that same sort of journey when you're younger and other people have been there, for a longer period of time, and they can feel a little bit put out by the fact that, how are you in this senior role? And that point where, they feel that they've spent many years, so many hours preparing that content, whether it was on PowerPoint or their notes for class, and this feeling of, but I've invested so much, I don't want to change it. It's kind of like, now I should be ready for the easier time because I'm confident in the way I teach. And I totally love your approach, and I remember going through that myself, of going, well, how about, that's right, you don't want to teach, death by PowerPoint. You just want to mix it up, have opportunities, learning engagement, or even as learners have changed. Now that's right. They actually do want to add those gamification aspects and make it fun and enjoyable. You don't want your students all sort of sleepy at the back of the room. You want them to be enjoying, because when we enjoy learning, we actually process it. We imagine ourselves doing. And that's that fine line of just hearing content and then applying it to our context. I love it. One of my daughters is learning Korean at the moment, which is fabulous, and I'm watching the aspects of the gamification, daily. She's as she learns it, she's wanting to make sure that she gets new badges, and she goes up the tree of of this sort of thing. It's so exciting. She's more excited about, I got to the castle, rather than how many words you've learned. But it does make a difference, because it's kind of like what entices you to come back and keep broadening your skills. And then also in a global perspective, you can be competing then against other people. You can be learning with those people, and that is super exciting as well.
Very true, very true.
So I'm imagining you've got students from all around the world now.
Yes. We have students from all over the world. And apart from teaching in the university, I would really like to share on your platform that I started an e-learning platform of my own, which is very new. I would say it's just 45 days old. And I think it was a learning experience during COVID. When we were all struggling, we were all not knowing how to do and what to do, how to make learning fun, how to engage the audience on Zoom or Teams or different online platforms.
Yeah.
So then I thought, why not do something which is constructive and long running, long term. So I wrote a book. My book was published this year, which was on the experiments which I had been doing. It's an amazing, it's like a handbook now, and this is really helping educators as well as trainers. It's not just for the teachers, but anyone who's using online platform, how to rock your virtual classrooms, basically.
I love that.
So the name of the book is How to Engage Learners in Virtual Learning Environment. And It's available on Amazon, on Book Depository, on all various platforms. But the motive I wrote the book was how we can help each other. Maybe something is working for Annie, something is working for me. So I share your things and pen it down. I shared my other fellow collaborators' things and penned it down. And together that book came up. But then I thought, not many people read book. Though the book is doing well, it is reaching the audiences, it's going where it has to go. People are taking it as a handbook. E-learning platform was something which I thought it is consistent, because now more and more people are moving towards e-learning.
Yes.
So I thought skill development is necessary. Doesn't matter what age, what color, what place you come from, what country you come from. So I started this e-learning where I launched the very first program, masterclass, on virtual learning environment, where anyone can take it at any time. It's like a crisp course, 60 minutes crisp course. So there is a free masterclass where again you have quizzes. So for starters, like if you are really struggling, you can immediately dive in. But for the people who are thinking long term, like educators as well as trainers, there's a certificate program as well. So which is available at any time, maybe 10 minutes today, 10 minutes tomorrow. In total, it's just 60 minutes.
Yeah.
So I just launched this program, which has really helped a lot of teachers already. A lot of teachers have enrolled and they're doing it, and they're sending me now beautiful testimonials. And it's really rewarding when you see that. And the second program which I launched, it is emotional intelligence. It's during this time I felt we need to practice empathy bit more. Though I had been doing, I come from a school of thought where teacher is not just a teacher, but she or he is a facilitator.
Yes.
Of knowledge.
Yes.
We are facilitators. We are giving something to the students who can become or who can evolve with that information. But during this period, I felt empathy is something that should be in the curriculum, not just felt when we are in crisis mode or not just be practiced when something is not happening in a good manner.
Yeah.
So this is the second masterclass that I have launched. It's a 1 week old only. And again, the motive is to help the people so that they become emotionally intelligent. Whether you are in successful careers, very stressful careers, politicians, or people in any job which is very stressful, and we are all the time like this. Stay away, I have to do. Stay away, I have this, So that's a course to help those people. So these two courses I have just launched, and I feel this is a requirement now. The more we have something, the more is the need to share it with the people, and they can benefit. Doesn't matter which part of the world they are, they can take the course and benefit from those things.
I think, absolutely. I think it's an amazing concept to teach emotional intelligence. On the surface of that, that's very challenging. Because it's so unique to all of us how we process the whole concept of emotional intelligence and how that affects us. So I think I'm going to have to definitely jump on that masterclass to see how you do that. I think that's brilliant. I love what you've said about e-learning, which is got skyrocketed definitely during COVID and the challenges that we've had. So whether you were on that bandwagon or not, you certainly have to be now. And I love the concept that it brings there, which is bite-sized learning. When you said you've got a 60-minute course, and some person can just sit there for 60 minutes, and other people go, I've got 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and I can drop in and I can do that. I think more and more our consumers are wanting that, because they've all got busy lives, they've all got juggling many things, and also some people learn differently. They can't focus for a long period of time, and so they like the concept of breaking it down, or also just going back and listening again. That learning journey is different for all of us. So fantastic. It's amazing that you've chosen those two topics when you've got an MBA and the other things that you do. You've chosen those two courses to be your first ones that you've just launched. So it must be that you are totally in the moment. You're listening to what's actually happening with consumers and thinking, okay, this is what I have to provide for them. How did you become a global Goodwill ambassador? What does that mean, and what sort of role do you have there?
Global Goodwill Ambassador happened a couple of years ago. I got a message on LinkedIn from Richard, who is the founder of Global Goodwill Ambassadors. And when I got the message, he said that we would like you to be a part of Global Goodwill Ambassadors because you're doing something great, something phenomenal, and we want you to continue doing that. So when you're getting a recognition, I was like, oh, wow, that's amazing. But what do I have to do?
Yes.
So he said, just continue doing what you are doing. So I was like, did I understand it correctly? Like, I don't have additional responsibilities. He said, once you start becoming a part of GGA, you will feel that there is a need. There's always a need of improvement. So what I would say in the beginning to you is just continue doing what you are doing. No additional responsibilities, no additional work. You are a humanitarian at heart, which we can see, and we want you to evolve with us. And that's how it started. And today, I think I completed almost, I would say, 4 years that I've been with them. And the journey has been phenomenal because during that period of time, I launched 2 programs on YouTube on emotional intelligence and women empowerment. It's again self-paced, no free. It's completely free for anyone and everyone. It's again something that they watch the videos, listen and understand, analyze those videos, and answer few questions which are there in the video. When I did that, it was Lisa, who is the co-founder. She was the one, both of them, I would say, they kind of pushed me. You have the knowledge, you have the information, and you have great content. When you speak, just record it. So like this, it is documented somewhere, because you are doing so many talks everywhere, but you're not doing anything for yourself. So I think it's high time that you make a course, document it, make it available to the masses. And then that is something that you can call, it's like your legacy that you're leaving behind. And at that time, I was like, can I do it? I don't think so. I don't have time. I'm so busy. I have so many things happening. I have small children, my career, home. So they said, if you are passionate, you will take out time. We are not pushing you, but I think it's a good suggestion because you have the content, you have the passion for it. Just do it. And I'm so happy. I listened to Richard and Lisa at that point of time. And today those courses are running so well. So many people have taken those courses, and the type of messages and emails that I receive is like, I want my daughter to be like you. It helped me in my career. I'm emotionally resilient now. Those kind of messages. I feel so good. And it gives me additional responsibility to give more.
Yes.
And I think that is GGA that pushes you in a very subtle way. You are doing a great job, but something more can be added. Something more can be done to make life meaningful. And that's how the journey started. And then I'm writing blogs in the magazine. They have a GGA ambassador magazine, the ambassador. So where we are trying to share the work of people all over the world, the humanitarians, what they're doing. I'm highlighting. Right now I'm doing a section on GGA Spotlight, where I'm choosing the people from our GGA ambassadors and sharing their work, why they are the ambassador for this particular month, which is, I'm preparing the YouTube video, and it's also documented in the ambassador magazine. So we have a link where people can hear the video as well. And again, I started with virtual learning environment, how things can be done, because this was last year that I started a series. Every month I was starting a special platform. Go for this platform. This will make life better. Go for that platform. So every month I was introducing a specific platform. I think as an educationist, I always want to share certain expertise which are working for us, how it can work for others in different parts of the world. So that's how my journey has been with them.
Incredible journey. And I love that your instant thought when you get offered an opportunity is, okay, well, what do I need to do, or what is expected of me, right? And that's the default, because you're expecting of people to ask, and it should be a big chore. But actually it's a total honor, because if you encourage someone just to be more of their essence, more of who they are, then you will be rewarded pretty much tenfold anyway, because it's almost permission to be you, Dr. Ubu, to keep pioneering, keep sharing, keep offering opportunities for people. And it's amazing how much is actually free out there, free online, that people can follow. It is the biggest joy, absolutely, when people say that your words, your input has changed their lives, really. Is it the power of the word, and the power of support is never to be underestimated. And that must just bring you so much joy. Yeah.
Very true. Very true. Just listening to them makes me feel that, yes, I'm doing something, because whenever I do something, certain things are planned. Of course, I have a to-do list. I need to do this. I need to do that. But certain things will just happen, like writing a book just happened. Having my e-learning platform just happened. I never thought I'm going to be an entrepreneur. Never. I never thought I will have a business where I'm trying to put my own thing, which I'm very passionate about, into practice like this. But I guess God had chosen me for certain things. It was all destined that I have to do these things, and it is just happening automatically. It's just happening.
Have you found that it is better to stay in the moment and just let it happen organically, if you like, or do you future plan now and go, okay, well, what is likely that I'll do in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? What works best for you?
I think it's a mix of both. Certain things, yes, I plan in a way, like, let's say when I'm accepting my, because I do corporate training as well. I'm invited to different countries for webinars, seminars, and as a keynote speaker. So
Yeah.
certain things I plan, like let's say I see my kids' calendars, like, when they're having their holidays, so that I can club it with a family holiday. So I travel to different countries with my children. As a family, we travel. My husband also plans his holidays accordingly, so that we are together as a family, living the moment. I am doing my things which I'm supposed to do, and thereafter spend quality time with the family. So yes, certain things I plan, because family has always been my number one priority. That's why I never worked full time. I've never worked 100%. Even when I was the academic dean of the institution, of that prestigious institution, I worked kind of 60%, because I feel as a mom, we have that responsibility as well to take care of the family and the children.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why certain things were planned. And at that point of time, I was working a little bit more, but handling it in a very delicate way. Now my children are a little older. So it's again a conscious decision to step down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working as a lecturer in 2 different colleges here, as I said. But I stepped down from the management position because I feel now my kids are priority again, and I need to focus on them. And my other social projects, which I call my petty projects or my passionate projects, are something that keep on happening. When they are traveling, I do this, or when they are busy with their work, I accept a webinar and things like that. So those things I plan. Yes, that's very normal that I plan, that I don't overdo or underdo. But other things like being on the advisory board or being on a women empowerment board, those kind of things, I don't plan. I first understand why are they inviting me for that? What is in return? What is it going to be? Because it's good that these things are coming up, but you don't have to say yes to everything, because you can't do everything.
Yes.
And you can't do justice to all the roles that you're playing. So that's why in some places I stay back. I restrict myself from doing too much, so that there's no compromise on quality. And have the good balance. Have a balance between your personal, professional, as well as family life. That's very important.
I think it is so important, and I thank you for sharing it, and I thank you for showing people, those listening in, that it is actually possible. I have a lot of people saying, oh, well, I won't have the opportunities if I don't work full time or even more. If I'm feeling too uncomfortable if I ask a manager if I can do reduced hours, or do it in a different across more flexibly across the week, so that I can have that time with my kids. They feel that it stops them and they don't take those steps. But here you have shown, and it's not a guarantee for everybody, but that's right, if it is important to you, ask for those opportunities, try and make them happen. And here you have shown that you've juggled it across very senior positions, that you've sort of just come out front and said, yeah, I'm available for those, I want them to happen, but I also know what my balance is. And I think it's most important that we do spend time as mums, women, really searching, go, well, what is that balance for us? And it will be different for every person, right?
I'm sure it's different, but the thing is that as a woman especially, we have to ask, we have to explain why I'm saying so. Maybe I was lucky, I was blessed that I started at a higher level. I started up there, I was already in the top management level, and having worked as a dean of a college for almost 10 years, it was not easy for me to step down. Of course, when you taste power, once you are in the decision making position for so long, it's not easy to be a lecturer. But then yes, it lies in our hands. I had to make a choice. No one was telling me to do this or do that. I had to make a choice, and I chose family. I chose, it's good to have, when they are there with me, I can always take care of other things. Things will happen. And I guess that's what helped. When I stepped down, I was sad. It took me 6 months to be me again, because I was little sad. I was little upset. Am I making the right decision? I'm stepping down. I don't think I'll get that position again. So there were a lot of fears. I would never say I was frustrated, but fear factor was there. What you are saying, which a lot of women will resonate. They will think, if you step down, if you have that, it won't come again. It may or may not come again. So we have to be daring. If we decide about something, we have to be daring. But at the same time, don't be afraid to ask wherever you are going. Now the universities that I'm teaching, again, whenever there's something, I always ask them, that can I do this? Like today I'm supposed to speak, today I have a very important masterclass just in 2 hours. So initially it was supposed to be at 4 in the evening. But then I asked my director, can I do it at 1? Because I have something very important at 4. In the evening, I'm going to be talking to the Union Minister of India. It's like tete-a-tete, where we are going to discuss about women development and children development. So it's a very important thing. And the director was like, okay, I'll try to juggle you before time. So that's what I'm saying. Like if I would have said, no, I can't say no to my director, maybe I was not speaking. And now I'm speaking at both places. Today, right now I'm speaking with you in
Exactly.
2 hours in that masterclass, and thereafter with the minister. So it's how you choose and how you ask. Because if you don't open your mouth, if you don't tell to the other person, he or she will not know. No one knows what is happening inside us. Only we are aware of it. So it's never too late to ask. It's never too late to ask for help. If sometimes you need help, doesn't matter what important position you are having, but each one of us goes through that lean phase as well. So it's fine. It's show that you are weak at times as well. It's fine to show that you can also have a weak moment. You can also be fragile, and ask for your help. Ask in your sisterhood networks, in your professional network, and I'm sure people will understand. People will empathize. Because if you always show I am the superwoman, I am the super mom, then it looks kind of a bit fake, because you can't be super all the time.
Don't we know
you have your moments.
Every person has their moments, and that's right. If it's perfect all the time, it's kind of like, well, we just know that there's a bit of smoke and mirrors happening there.
Exactly.
I love you tapped on a couple of key points there, and one that we often have a scarcity mindset, and I know that as I've been, juggled my career around 5 children. You can sort of think, I can't miss this opportunity because it'll never happen again. These blanket statements that are completely made up all in our own head. We just don't know. And I'm a big believer now, and I want to encourage those listening in that if you are meant to be in doing what you're doing in that role, in that space, other opportunities will come again. And it might not be that exact position, but when you're leaning into what you're enjoying doing and what your skill set is, what your gifts are, that another opportunity will come into being. And so it's a normal response to think, I've got to take everything. Then you get the other side of, once you're then established in your career, that you get too many opportunities. And so it's also that comment that you said before of, just ask and you'd be surprised at what could be juggled, and that's exactly true. So many times you think, I can't because they've booked me and that's just the way it is. But so often I've shown that when I've dared to sort of see if it's a bit flexible, it actually is. If you can't guarantee it once again, but more than often it's kind of like, of course, if we can juggle it an hour or two and something, it doesn't inconvenience people, or if you're just worth it, I think you'll be surprised. So the message there is, be bold, ask, without being demanding, and just see what's possible. And when you dare to see what's possible, I think a lot of us would be very, very surprised of what can come about. So your passion now is women empowerment, right? That's your key passion. And so what does that mean to you? Why do women still need to be focusing on being empowered, fighting for equality and their rights? What makes you so passionate about this area?
I think women have always been empowered. It's not that we need to empower women, but what I mean by empowerment is giving them the right frame of mind and right opportunities. That is important, because women are strong. They are the ones who are the bearers of, they are bearing the child. They are giving birth to the child. So they are doing something what men can't do, So they're already a little bit better in handling those situations as well.
Yeah.
But when we say empower women, it's like give them the responsibility. Don't tell that she's the weaker sex. We are done away with those things. It's time now to give equal responsibility and equal pay for what they are doing. Because when you're giving them equal responsibility, and I'm sorry, you're not giving them the equal pay, that doesn't work. You have to have an equal pay for women. Doesn't matter whether she's younger, older, what age she is. Because at some point of time, it is like, oh, you're younger, you have a couple of years, but she is old or he is older. We need to give him the opportunity. I'm sorry, that doesn't work. he and you are at the same level, both are working same, both are giving similar things, the output is pretty much the same, then why are you differentiating there? And that's my main concern, whether we are women in a developed country or in a developing country. Women are not giving the right opportunity. They are devoid of giving the right opportunities in the first place. And in some places, even the right education. If you have a son and a daughter, still in some countries, the son gets more privileges than a daughter.
Definitely.
If he's a son, he is going to be the bearer of our family. He's taking the dynasty further. So we have to make sure that he's well educated, he has a good job, he has a good standing, social standing, and he is going further with it. But as a girl, she has to go to somebody else's house. She's going to be married to somebody. Why spend that amount of time and energy on her? So I think it's the mindset. Again, we need to educate the people how they can bring about the change in the social mindset, not compare too much. So when we are empowering women, it's like one way, starting from the very basics, educate both girl and boy, equally. There should not be any discrimination there. And second, giving them equal opportunities at all stages, whether it's their career, whether it's their education choice, whether it's the choice for the marriage partner. There's so many things where always women have to compromise. I don't say men don't compromise, men also compromise, but the amount of times, amount of situations a woman is supposed to step down, it's way more than what a man is doing or what a man is asked to do.
Exactly, way more. If you look at the statistics of women who have actually stopped working in certain roles because they're homeschooling children during a pandemic or have, sacrificed big time, it has been quite stark globally. Actually, it's the first ones to self-sacrifice rather than looking at opportunities to both co-share. What flexibility there is in that male's, their partner's role and so forth. So whether people think it's true or not, it absolutely is true because the statistics are supporting that massive trend. What is a bigger issue then? Is it women believing in their worth and standing up and claiming that, or is it re-educating men and to accept that women are of equal value?
I think it's a bit of both. Because women are always underestimating themselves. And that's where I talk about women networks. When we have these women networks, or I call them sisterhood networks, we give that gentle push to each other. You are worth it. Go for it, girl.
Yes.
Don't underestimate yourself. And that's where we need the boosting. Because most of the women, when they are at a certain age, I'm 40 plus, I won't get that job. I'm 50 plus, I'm not really the face that will work on television. Now I was in media, I was once a big star, not anymore. Do away with these kind of things. It's there. We need to give the push to the women, especially, that you are much more than what you see yourself in the mirror.
Yes.
Because mirror is not always telling you the truth. It is just showing you what you want to see. If you see I have wrinkles, the wrinkles will start showing more. Or I look old, you will look older than what you are thinking, because we always magnify the things. So that's why it's important to educate the guys, educate the men folks, that you have to respect women and, give them the right opportunity. So that's why it's a mix of both, where we need to educate men, the society at large, and also further give the assurance to the women that you are much more. So take a dive. Do not be afraid to go further. And that's where we need to hold our friends' hands. Doesn't matter which part of the world they are, and move with them. Yes. And that's why women empowerment is necessary. Like when you empower them at whatever level they are, they will feel happy, they'll feel valued, and they'll not be afraid. They'll feel that I have the backing. I have some people who are with me, so they will go further.
I absolutely love that. And I love the essence of, that's right, collaborating, supporting over competing. Women have, while the earlier pioneering women often had to compete big time amongst others in their space. And I think necessary at the time, but it definitely doesn't work now. Now it's all about collaboration. How can we network globally, which is even how we met. And I know we've both spoken on Women's Economic Forum and other sort of big events. And then we've also got our own tribes, and I've got a Transformation Academy. There's so many academies and different tribe groups out there. There's some tribe for everybody. And so, and most of them are free. You can just find them online, find people that you relate to. Why is it important? Because that's it. When you're not quite bold enough, quite brave enough, worrying about something, someone else, exactly that, your sister, will then go and say, hey, give it a go. What's the worst thing can happen? They could say no, or maybe no this time. And then people get braver and braver. And I'm already seeing over the last few years incredible transformations happening in different women in my networks and around the globe, which is really encouraging. So where to from here for you? What's next? You know, where do you go from doing the work that you're doing? What are you excited about moving into next?
Right now, I'm completely excited for my e-learning thingy. It's great. It's like my baby, which I'm evolving as well together, learning what I did that worked well in the first masterclass, what didn't go so well in this one. So I'm evolving because I have other modules as well that are coming up on women empowerment, then leadership courses, then public speaking. You know, these are all in the pipeline. They're all planned. If you go on my website, which is www.rubybakshikhurdi.com, you will see all are there in the pipeline. But the first two which I wanted was what I told you, VLE and emotion intelligence, because that's the need of the hour. So I'm very passionate about it and I'm building on it. I'm enjoying my studio recordings. It's something new. As a teacher, I never thought I'll be doing it, but I'm enjoying it, you know, standing in a particular way, having the light in a particular way. I'm learning those things, you know. I mean, so it's something exciting because I'm seeing where I have to stand, the direction, the place, all those kind of things, which I did when I gave my TEDx talk. You know, I did a small portion of it, like how much I should be on the red carpet, where to move, where not to move. But now I'm doing it for my own business, so it's very exciting. I think for the moment that is my sleep, my drink, my food, everything, because it's very exciting.
It's so exciting and it's unlimited, because that's exactly it. When you're in this world of meeting with people, pretty much every challenge you get, you go, there's another course, there's another opportunity that I can share. And I love that, because it comes back from where we started in this conversation. You know, your roots in your community and your faith, and how important family is and communities. And so therefore all of that, passing on the knowledge, passing on the wisdom, passing on that support is going to empower people globally, and particularly young girls coming through who can sort of look to you and think, oh my gosh, if Ruby can do it, I can do it. And then that can be, incredibly, it can change. It does actually change people's lives, because belief is everything, right? If you don't believe the dream,
very true.
Then you won't take those next steps. So,
and in India, I come from Lucknow, you know, which is a big city as compared to the cities that we have in Switzerland. It's a big city, but still it's not a very big town, you know. So I come from Lucknow. So whenever I'm sharing these kind of things, the people in my city, they're like, oh, you're doing so well. You're really making us feel that we can do it. Exactly what you just said, Annie. You know, it's not something that if you dreams do come true. Yes. It might take longer, it might take little lesser or longer time, whatever, but you have to work on your dreams. You can't just say, I had a dream and gone. Exactly. If you have a dream, work on your dreams, you know. Either you're working on it on a consistent basis, either you have a to-do list. You need to do something so that you can do to evolve and implement those dreams. They don't remain dreams for a long time. So I think it's a mix of everything, you know, your personality, your work, your consistency, time management. Especially as women, we have to be wearing different hats at all the times. Just as we are very cautious about when we are wearing a red dress, we carry a red bag. So I think changing hats is also important, not getting stuck with one place. Maybe you're successful. Success hits early in life, great, but maybe success is taking longer time. So don't get disheartened and don't lose hope. You know, work consistently. I think consistency is the mantra of the day, because if we are consistent and we are passionate, nothing can stop you. I mean, all the things that are happening now, as I just said, were not planned. They're just happening, and I'm going with the flow, and I'm very happy with how it's going.
But once again, if you just dreamed of having these courses and weren't consistent, didn't actually put yourself out, open yourself to learn new things about lighting and recording and speaking in a different way, then they wouldn't happen, and that's exactly it. Dream without action is a wish, and that wish, you can wish it your entire lifetime, right? So,
very true.
So that's right. It's dedication, it's discipline, but also that's not hard when you're actually doing it for all the right reasons. Doing it for the that it's important to you. It will add value to yourself and those that you're serving. And I think it's great that you are also continually learning, and I've done that in my, suddenly you're learning about creating websites or creating different videos and all the aspects of it, and funnels and business and bits and pieces. It shows that while we're all evolving, and if you commit to leaning into that journey and finding out where it will come and then all the parts of it, it's stimulating. And then the next minute you're thinking, I should run a course on that and teach other people how to do this. The cycle goes on, and it's such a joy to be able to share that with everybody. So let's finish our conversation then with this podcast called Memoirs of Successful Women. And you're obviously a very successful woman. What advice do you have to other people listening in about what you see success as? What does it mean for you to be a successful woman?
Successful woman is something which comes if you believe in yourself, if you're authentic. There's no magic formula for getting the success. You need to create one. If you're passionate, if you're dedicated, and if you are ready to take any challenge that is coming up your way, feel the drive. You have to be connected with it, because if you're connected, you will have that passion that I need to do it, and automatically success will come. But if you're thinking, I have to be successful, if you think about success before and you don't get it, then you are crashing down because your expectations are not meeting. So don't have any expectations. That's what I tell everyone. Do not have any expectations. Just give it your best shot. Because if you have expectations and the expectations are not met, you feel disheartened, you feel frustrated. So the best is do it, enjoy it, and give it your 100%, no compromise there. Give it your 100%. And then you will see the results. The results are going to flow longer, later, whatever. But don't think the success will happen with some magic wand. You have to have the magic. You need to create the magic and work on the magic every consistent day.
I absolutely love that. That's right. The wand will work at times, but it's the icing on the cake. It's like, no, that's right. Believe it, do it, love it, breathe it, get excited by it. And if you're not, then you're not in the right place, right?
Exactly.
When you need it, everyone has something that just makes them get excited and lean into, and success will come your way. Thank you so much for being on my show today. It's been an absolute delight to meet you, and I celebrate the work that you've done globally. Absolutely amazing, and I look forward to following you in all your future success, and I'll be putting all of your contact details on my platform so that people can reach out to you and find out a little bit more.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to learn from you and follow all your social media handles as well to learn and involve together. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Memoirs of Successful Women. You can find me at anniegibbins.com, where you can download my free resources, get connected on social, and check out my online magic transformation program. If you love this show, feel free to subscribe to future episodes, and of course, share it with your friends. I'll see you again soon, and until then, happy podcasting.